In the heart of ancient Egypt, a land ruled by mighty gods and powerful men, a mystery lay buried for centuries. Not a lost tomb, but a lost ruler. A king whose name was chiseled from history, whose image was torn from the walls. This is not the story of a king who was forgotten, but of a king who was erased. And the most astonishing part? This king was a woman. Her name was Hatshepsut. And this is the story of how she didn't just become queen of Egypt. She became its pharaoh. Hatshepsut was born into power. She was the daughter of a pharaoh, Thutmose I, a mighty warrior who expanded Egypt's empire. In a world where sons inherited the throne, Hatshepsut was her father's favorite. He is said to have seen in her a sharp mind and a regal bearing. But the path to power for a woman was narrow. The solution? She was married to her half-brother, Thutmose II. As his great royal wife, Hatshepsut was now queen. But Thutmose II's reign was short and unremarkable. When he died, he left only a young son, Thutmose III, born to a minor wife. The boy was too young to rule. So, Hatshepsut did what was expected of a royal widow. She became a young king's regent, the temporary ruler until he came of age. But temporary was not a word in Hatshepsut's vocabulary. For the first few years, she ruled wisely in the boy's name. But then, something extraordinary happened. Around the 7th year, Hatshepsut began a slow, deliberate, and brilliant campaign to transform herself from queen regent into full pharaoh. She didn't just claim the role, she reinvented her image. In statues and carvings, she began to be depicted not as a woman, but as a male king, broad-shouldered, wearing the traditional pharaoh's kilt and the false beard. Yet, she was careful to use feminine pronouns in some inscriptions. She wasn't trying to hide that she was a woman. She was claiming that the title of pharaoh was above gender. She became Aker. Truth is the soul of Ra. The young Thutmose III was not cast aside. He remained as her co-ruler, training for a future military career. Hatshepsut had secured the throne without a civil war. Unlike the warrior pharaohs before her, Hatshepsut's reign was marked by peace, immense prosperity, and grand building projects. Her most famous achievement was a legendary trading expedition to the fabled land of Punt. Her ships returned overflowing with riches that Egypt hadn't seen in generations. This wasn't conquest, it was commerce. It made her incredibly wealthy and proved her ability to rule effectively. And she built on a scale to rival any pharaoh. Her mortuary temple, Jesu, the Sublime of Sublimes, is a masterpiece of ancient architecture. Instead of a massive, intimidating structure, it is elegant, harmonious, and breathtakingly modern in its design. She also erected towering obelisks at Karnak, carving them from a single piece of granite and capping them with electrum, an alloy of gold and silver, so they would shine like beacons in the sun. Hatshepsut ruled successfully for over 20 years. She died of natural causes, likely in her 50s, and was buried with honor. Then, something strange happened. Decades later, toward the end of Thutmose III's own long and very successful reign, her memory was systematically attacked. Her statues were smashed, her images on temple walls were defaced, and her name was removed from the official king lists. It was an act of damnatio memoriae, the condemnation of memory. It wasn't personal, it was political, and it worked. For over 3,000 years, Hatshepsut's story was lost. But history has a way of uncovering the truth that in the 19th and 20th centuries, Egyptologists began piecing together the clues. They noticed the strange, defaced image and the missing names. The story of the female pharaoh re-emerged from the shadows. In a final, dramatic twist, her mummy was positively identified in 2007. The woman who had been erased was found, not in the grand tomb, but humbly placed in the tomb of her nurse. Today, Hatshepsut is celebrated not as an anomaly, but as one of Egypt's most successful and visionary rulers. Her story is a powerful reminder that greatness cannot be so easily erased. It is the story of Hatshepsut, the woman who dared to become king. Like, comment and share to get more stories from history.